So up to now we've learned about the list, and list is one of the most general collections that we are learning in Python. There are some specified kind of collections such as tuples, dictionaries, and arrays. The next topic that we're going to talk about in Python is tuples. Tuples are just the same as list, with the difference that they're written inside the parentheses instead of brackets, and also they're unchangeable and ordered. So let's create a new file and call it tuples.py, and here let's define new tuple equals, and here write parentheses, and imagine that inside of these parentheses we want to write strings. So I write a number of names inside the strings, starting with Jack, Sarah, Alice, Martin, and that's it for now. Let's print new tuple. Here is the third one, and let's print it using Python 3 new tuple. So here actually we have tuples. Tuples.py, and here as you can see it's printed out. So let's see if we can change this tuple. To do that we can use one of the methods we use in lists. So if we write new tuple dot sort inside the parentheses, and let's see whether we face any error before printing out. So if I run this, as you can see we face an error, and this is the reason is we cannot change tuples. So what if we want to change this tuple? In order to do that we need to first convert this tuple into a list and change the list, and then convert it back to the tuple. So to do that, let's write new tuple dot list, new tuple dot list, and put it inside a variable, call it a. So here it's been changed to a list, and so I can write a dot sort, and after that we can convert it back into the tuple. But before that, let's print a and see the results. Okay, actually here we should have written list.list, and inside the parentheses we should have written the name of the tuple. So list, and let's cut this one and put it here. We also need to comment this one as well, or probably remove it because we don't need it anymore. So here as you can see we have sorted this tuple by converting it to a list, and then in order to convert it back to the new tuple, new tuple, and change the previous new tuple, we can write, or probably we can declare another variable and call it the sorted new tuple. And in here we can write tuple, and inside of it we can write the name of the list, which is a, and we can print the new sorted tuple. sorted new tuple and save this. If you check this, you can see that the tuple has been sorted and it's been changed. So we cannot directly change the order or remove an item from a tuple, but we can indirectly change it by first converting it to the list and then changing the list, or modifying the list, and then we can convert it back to a tuple. So in the following of tuple section of our tutorial, we want to also see how we can access the items inside the tuple. So for example, we want to access the second position of the tuple. Notice that to do this, there's no difference between the tuples and the list, and we do the same thing for accessing a certain part in a tuple. So for example, we can declare a variable called second position, and we can define it in this way, new tuple, and we want to know what is the second position, so we enter 1 for the second position. Notice that it also starts from 0, just the same as the list. And once you save this, and also notice that you need to print this as well, print second position, and in order to run this, you can write Python 3. Here we are in tuples.py, and as you can see, the second position is Sarah. And also notice that if you want to get the subset of the tuple, so for example, you want Jack and Sarah, the first two, or you want Jack, Sarah, Alice, from the first to the third item, or you want it from the second to the fourth item. Let's see how we can access all of these different kinds of subsets of tuple, or declare them inside a new variable. So here I don't want to declare a new variable, and simply I want to print all of this, test them and try them together. So I can here write new tuple, and inside of this I can write 1 and up to the third one. And as you can see, we have Sarah and Alice. The second and third one, notice that just the same as the list here, the fourth one, which has the ID of 3, or index of 3, which is Martin, is not going to be included in this. However, we write 3 here, but 3 itself will not be included. However, the ID 1, or the second position, is going to be included. So this one is going to be included, but the position 3, or the fourth item of the tuple, will not be included. So let's try another one, print. So if you want to have the position 3, or the fourth item of the tuple, we need to write it this way: new tuple, and we can write 1 up to, and we don't write any number because we want it to be up to the end. So if you write 4 here, 4, we will face an error. Okay, so let me write 4, see if we have any error. No error, but if you write longer numbers, that will happen, or you can simply write no number here. Okay, as you can see, this is just the same result as the previous one. We have Martin, the last one. Or for example, you want to start it from the first one up to the last one. You don't write 0. If you write 0 here actually you will face an error. So if, for example, here I write 0 up to 4, you will face an error. Or let me write 3 here in the list you will face the errors, but in the tuples there's no problem. So opposite to the list, here in the tuples, if you write 0, you will not face any error and it will include Jack. But in the list, if you write 0 here, you will face an error. So instead of writing 0, you can also write from nothing to 0, and this nothing here will say that you want it from the first. So writing no number here represents that you want it to start from the first item of the tuple up to the item that you determine, which is the fourth one, or the ID 3, which is up to Martin, but Martin is not going to be included. So we have Jack, Sarah, and Alice. So let's save this one and try how it works. Just as you can see, it's just the same as the previous one. So if you write either you write 0 or nothing, it will show the same. But I noticed that when we were in the list, when we were testing the list, that wouldn't happen. So this is the way how we can access different items inside a tuple. So to sum up, you can access all of the items inside a tuple just the same as in the list, but the difference here is that if you write from 0 in the list, you will face an error, just the way we had tried in our previous tutorials. But here in the tuple, if you write 0, there will be no error. Also for the last one, if you write up to 4, for example, there will be no problem, because it won't say that we don't have the fifth item. But in the list, we have faced this kind of error. Okay, anyway, that's it for accessing different items for the tuples. Notice that you can also use the negative numbers, and if, for example, you write -1, it will represent Martin. So if I print, if here I print new tuple, and inside of it I write -1, it's just the same as writing 3 here, because 3 is the last ID or item of this list, which is the fourth one, and if I write -1, it will loop back to the fourth one. So if I save this and print it, here as you can see, it will print out Martin for us.